So we've gone over the puff stitch, we've gone over the popcorn stitch. Now we're gonna kind of mix the two. Now when I say we're gonna mix the two, today we're gonna go over how to do the bobble stitch, and in a way it's kind of meshing the puff stitch and the popcorn stitch all into one stitch. It'll make sense as we get into it, but yeah, so let's do that. I have a starting foundation double crochet, a double crochet starting foundation, oh my gosh, row of 11 stitches. So I'm going to now chain one and turn. What I want to do is go ahead and throw a single crochet into that very first stitch. And we're gonna get started on our bobble stitch. Now, like I said, it's a mix between the popcorn stitch and the puff stitch, and you'll see why. With the bobble stitch, we are still working all into the same next stitch right here. What I want you to do is we are going to do what is called 4 double crochets together, but we're doing it all in the same stitch versus across 4 rows. And this is how we're gonna get our popping bobble effect. And it's also kind of where the puff stitch comes in a little bit. But let's go. So you're gonna yarn over, and into the next stitch, you are going to insert your hook and you're going to pull up a loop. Then you are going to yarn over and pull through only 2 loops on your hook. Now you are going to repeat those same steps 3 more times. So you want to start your double crochets, but we're not going to finish them. So you're going to yarn over and still into that same stitch. You're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only 2 loops on your hook. Do it again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a new loop, yarn over, and pull through only 2 loops. And do it one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a new loop, yarn over, pull through 2, oops, I didn't fully catch that, pull through 2 loops on your hook. Now, I prefer using 4 double crochets for my bobbles. If I need something bigger, you can do a 5th double crochet into that same space, but for now we're just going to stick with 4. But as you can see, you have your 4 double crochets right here. Well, the start of your 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to finish off your bobble stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops that you have on your hook. And that's kind of where like the similarity to the puff stitch comes in, is pulling through all of those loops all in one go. And the best way to get the really good effect of the bobble stitch is you are going to, in the very next stitch, you are going to do a single crochet. Now by doing this, it pulls that top down a little bit and really makes this pop out from your work. So there is our first bobble crochet, or bobble stitch. Bobble crochet stitch. Yes, but that is a bobble stitch. So I'm going to do a couple of single crochets just to break them up a little bit. So we're going to do 2 more. 1, 2, and we're going to do another bobble stitch. And again, that's 4 double crochets into the same stitch, but we're doing a double crochet 4 together decrease into the same stitch, but that's a mouthful, so it's just the bobble stitch. But it's yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only 2, so you do not want to finish that double crochet, and you're going to repeat that 3 more times. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. There we go. And then one more, yarn over, insert, yarn over and pull up, yarn over and pull through 2. So I've got the 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 5 loops on our hook. And then you yarn over, pull through all 5, and then in the next stitch you're going to place a single crochet stitch. I'm just going to do another couple single crochets just to break these up. 1, 2. You know what? We're at the end of the row. So I'm going to do one more bobble stitch just so you guys can see. So there you go. You can see my bobbles. They do look very similar to the popcorn stitch. I personally prefer the bobble more because you don't have to do the whole pull out with your hook and do all the weird stuff that you have to do with the popcorn stitch. That's why I prefer the bobble stitch, but they're both great to know. And then on your return row, all you have to do is whatever stitch you started with. So we started with double crochets, is you just work a row of, we'll say double crochet for this back across your row. So into each stitch, you just work a double crochet. So we started with 11, so we should end, if I'm not missing any stitches, we should end with 11 double crochets at the end. 11. Woohoo! I can count. Yes. But yes, so there we go. We've got a nice pretty row of some bobble stitches. Now there is another method of doing bobble stitches as well. I would have to double check on the name of them. I think it's, either a jumbo bobble or an extended bobble where it's actually worked up in 2 separate rows. Sorry, my lighting is just maybe I picked the wrong yarn for this, but you can still see them. They poke out nice and neat and pretty. A lot of people use it with making those pillows with words in it for wall hangings and use, words because they're great for getting like the very 3D looking effect with like lettering and stuff like that. And of course, it's just another great texture stitch. It's a special stitch. They're all special. But that is the bobble stitch. Now you've gotten to know the popcorn, the puff, and the bobble. They are all great options for doing like puffy texture stitches. Like I said, I prefer the bobble versus the popcorn. Some people prefer the popcorn over the bobble. Play with all of them, figure out which one you like the most, and you can, especially when it comes to the bobble, you can use the bobble in place of a popcorn or a popcorn in place of a bobble because they are very similar. It's just they're made up a tad differently. But beyond that, always go practice, and I'll catch you in the next video. Excuse me. Bye!